Welcome to Hits and Hoops. Today I'm here with my main man Dixon.
Wagwan, bruv. What you lot saying?
And my name is Tyler. Thanks for listening today. Um, Today we're gonna be talking about a little bit of a week two recap. Uh, Kind of few things we want to, kind of poop on and kind of praise. And we're gonna talk a little NBA at the end. But first, how you doing? Everything good?
Everything is smooth, man. Blessed to see another week. Blessed to see another NFL Sunday.
We don't really get to talk much during the week. Um, but I wanted to ask you your thoughts on this Mexican alien.
Oh.
We've always worn the tinfoil hats.
Are we gonna start with that? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I got to get out of the way because I'll never remember to ask you later.
I think the most concerning thing is not even the news, is people's reactions. Everyone treating it like a joke, everyone joking about it, making memes. And I feel like, man, we're so desensitized that I think that's even scarier. That they're literally telling us, hey, this is going on. We're actually giving y'all proof. Like the moment we've been waiting for, it's here. And everyone thinks it's just bullshit. So, man, for those who don't believe, we are all in for a rude awakening because I believe 100%. I think this has been a slow rollout. I think that's why they put it in the movies. I think that's why they depicted it a certain way. It's to start to train our brains, our consciousness, so that when it does happen, we can't say like, oh, we didn't already expect it or know it.
Man, yeah. I didn't I don't know. I'm just so like skeptical of everything.
Yeah,
I'm thinking like, all right, because I agree with you. I totally agree with that. But then I think about like, okay, well, Mexico's coming out with this. Why would Mexico specifically, like as a nation, right? Mexican scientists, like why would they add Mexican into that, right? What benefit could they get out of like the government? What benefit could they get out,
yeah,
of exposing that? And then it's like, so to tell other countries that they found technology. You know what I mean? Like they're
well,
not going
I
to be like,
think the
"Hey, this is
Mexican
everything we
one,
found. This is like a little piece."
yeah, this is just the beginning. I think the Mexican one made sense to me because they have a lot of more. First of all, they have a lot longer history than the United States. You know, they have the Aztecs, the Mayans, all of them boys were over there way before Native Americans, way before Christopher Columbus. So I think they just have more history to pull from. So that's why I didn't really trip like, oh, they had it. No, they have a lot of like hidden history and first civilization history. So kind of made sense for me to that it was them.
I think all the governments have some sort of alien technology that
Yeah.
they kind of keep in their pocket. Like
Yeah.
that's the real reason why I think that um like the world doesn't know about them is because the government's kind of hiding all of it,
For
and
sure.
they try to keep it under wraps because of like war strategies and
Yep.
technology and weapons, all that type of stuff. But
They say I heard the other day like every country is in a race to master the alien technology because whoever could do that first wins.
yeah, wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, but I mean, is that what you thought aliens would look like?
Yeah, I mean
It's kind of a
that
letdown,
image,
though. It's kind of a letdown, to be honest.
but like, okay, my thing is, where does these images come from? Like, we've always been shown this is what an alien's supposed to look like. Who made up that's what an alien looks like? That shit has to come from somewhere. Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah, like
So
in the hieroglyphics and like Egyptian writings and stuff like that. No, I
yeah,
believe that. I believe that. All right, let's not get too deep into that because We'll probably have to change the podcast name if that's the case. But all right,
Yeah.
we're gonna jump into NBA or NFL. We crap. We're gonna jump into NFL recap. You go first, my man. What you got? What game you got? What game you picking?
Man, let's just start off with the boys and the Jets. You know, last week while we were recording is when that whole Aaron Rodgers thing went down. So, first of all, I know we're rivals. I know I hate you and you hate me. I'm talking to all the Jets fans out there. But seriously, I want to send my condolences. Not being sarcastic, not being funny. Nobody wanted to see that. You know, I'm a rival and I still was excited to see like, oh, what are they actually going to do? You know, what is it going to look like? So the fact that they couldn't even last a drive was like, man, shocking, completely shocking and heartbreaking. So all my Jets fans out there, all my New Yorkers, like, I feel for y'all, and y'all still gonna be mad trash. So,
hey, watching that live, him go, the when he ran out with the flag, the
so much
like,
build up.
there was so much tension and energy and everything, and when he got carted out, not in the tent, but it carted out, you could feel through the telecast the soul just being sucked out of everybody.
The
And out
last
of the
thing that I can
game.
recall that was similar to that was when KD got injured in the finals versus
Oh yeah.
Toronto. When he came back early and then he got injured right away, man, that was like a similar feeling to where it's like, this ain't right.
That's yeah.
Or
But going back to
you
the
even
Cowboys,
remember Gordon Hayward a couple years ago? That was opening day.
yo,
LeBron
I remember
versus
you were at my
Kyrie.
house and we were watching that. We was like we had a whole party we had,
Yeah.
and that was just like,
And that
yeah,
was like
same
the
effect.
first play of the game. So that was
Yeah,
very close. The only difference is Gordon Hayward isn't Aaron Rodgers. So
yeah, definitely. Um, what else did you see in that game, that Jets and Cowboys game?
on to the actual game. Zach Wilson has to be one of the worst NFL quarterbacks we've ever seen. Like, I don't know why nobody's saying that. I don't know why we're continuously defending the kid over and over and over. We didn't do that for Jamarcus Russell. We didn't do that for Johnny Manziel. We didn't do that for any of these other busts, but because this is Aaron Rodgers' new little bro, he's not touchable. Zach Wilson is one of the worst NFL quarterbacks I have ever seen. The kid looks lost. Bro, they won't even give him a play route. They won't even give him a route that goes over 10 yards. The only touchdown that was a slant, and he just took it to the house. But they don't give him plays that are 10 yards over. And man, weren't we all fucking fooled by that one throw?
I never understood that. I remember talking to you about that, and I'm like, dude, there's no that what was it, pre-draft,
the pro day.
Pro day, my fault. Yeah, pro day.
Where they go to their, college campuses and throw to their own receivers in their own clothes with no. Hey, it got me.
It
got me. Like, I was hooked. I was sold on the kid.
I remember talking to you saying, I just don't get, why is he the solidified second overall pick? Not only
because of one throw, overall, bro.
I don't get
because of one throw and because he looks like Justin Bieber. Those two combinations, number 2 pick. But man, the guy's atrocious. I mean, if I were them, I would be desperately looking for a quarterback. I'm talking about desperately. I'm calling people that supposed to be kept away in a closet.
So wait. If they do so, does that mean after this year his future's donezo?
This is his last year in the NFL.
Okay.
No way. No way.
They did play the Cowboys. So
okay, my bad. Let me get back to the boys.
Yeah.
Cowboys fans, I know this is the year, right? This is the year, right? This reminds you of 93, 94. Bullshit. I've seen this. We've seen this already. This has been Dallas for the past 3, 4, 5 years. High-powered offense. They blow the brakes off of bad teams. What are they going to do when Mahomes goes there? What are they going to do when Trevor Lawrence goes there? When they come here and play Tua, what are they going to do? I still have never seen that. I've never seen Dallas play up to their competition. They blow out the little guys. Yeah, of course. Easy. But anytime they face a playoff team, it's different.
Damn, hey, I'm glad I'm glad you went first because I was about to look like a clown because you're right. I was about to anoint them, but can you admit that Parsons is like
It
he's
looks
on God
amazing,
mode.
but we've seen this. We've seen, bro, just last year alone, they had 2 games very similar. They had like a 56-10 game and then another crazy 40-3 or something. And where did that get them?
I mean, hey, all I'm gonna say is, and I'll give this offense props. They're balling. I think Dak looks really good. I think I honestly think between this week and last week they could have scored even more because sometimes
For
they just
sure.
settle for those dumb field goals, and they make plays. And dude, they held out. Them holding out New York. I mean, 40-0. Like that's shutting someone down in the NFL is tough.
An NFL team.
It's tough. But like looking at McCarthy's offense, right? Because I'll be honest, I think it looks better than last year. The offense. Does Kellen Moore suck? Because McCarthy's might be better. And if you look where Kellen Moore went, they're 0-2. I mean,
Yeah.
it can't be nothing, right? Or it can be something, but I mean it's only week 2, so it's probably nothing. One thing I don't like for the Jets, and I mean, like you said, they're rivals. So I kind of love this at the same time, just the chaos between the other organizations. Brees Hall already, talking shit, saying he wasn't getting touches. I mean, throw more red flags. You know what I mean?
More toxicity.
Come on, bro. It's the second game of the year, and you're over here.
And you just came back from injury. This is your first game back from injury.
Yeah, that's
and you talking big talk.
You talking real something. First game I want to talk about is the Chief Jags. This I was hoping to be the best game of the weekend. Just because Jacksonville making that level or going up that level, and first game of the year, you can't put too much on it. They did take an L talking about the Chiefs, but Chris Jones coming back, Kelsey coming back. This was somewhat of a boring game, to be honest.
Defensive.
I think Jags kind of was a big letdown. And Mahomes still Mahomes, 2 touchdowns, maybe a pick, like 250. I feel like he's running a lot more and looking to run a lot more this year, just to pick up those like easy first downs. I think they need to find more receiving for real now. I think they're at that point because I mean 17-9. I mean that's bad. That's not they scored 17 and 21 or 20 points their first 2, and they've been a
walking 30 piece since Mahomes been there.
Yeah, so I think they do need to outreach and find a receiver, or just another high power offensive weapon. But the Jags to me was a big letdown. Like these are the games. Like this is a AFC playoff rematch
from last year. Yeah.
But
what did you think about the Chiefs defense?
Chris Jones showed his worth. He showed his worth. As much as he disrupted stuff, if I'm not mistaken, a forced fumble, a sack, he showed his worth. And I get for a player that held out for money and has to come back to be with his team.
What about the other 11 guys?
What are you talking about?
Like the defense as a whole, not just Chris.
Oh! I thought it was better. I mean, Snead made plays. Like they held him to 9 points, so that's saying
Hey,
something.
they say this is the best defense in the Mahomes era that the Chiefs have ever had.
Really?
So I'm
Okay.
starting to see that, and if
I haven't
that's
really.
true, if that holds true, then they might be able to get away with having zero wide receivers. They just might be able to get away with it.
Hey, man. I haven't really looked at it like that, but 9 and 21 points they gave up first two games,
Yep.
and wow, that's interesting. What's your next game?
Next game I got is Broward Zone. So, coming from me, I'm always gonna rep, support, and give y'all updates on Lamar Jackson. One of the most controversial, hated on, you know, figures that the sport has ever seen. Man, did he look good back there. He was a pocket passer that game. Smooth. Three-step drop, patience, didn't even move around too much unless he had to. But man, just showing that patience and that willingness to throw, that willingness to stay in that pocket, the willingness to not move shows me a huge evolution. And on the other side of the ball, Cincinnati, I'm not worried about them. They started 0-2 last year. Joe Burrow and that team, since he's been in the league, have always gotten off to slow starts.
But
Am I
why
gonna?
though? Why? What's this? What's the problem?
That's the question. But I guess if they make it to the AFC Championship every time, is it a problem? Because who else? What other historical great have we known to do that? LeBron. LeBron is known for giving up that first game L in the playoff series purposely. But I don't think they're doing it on purpose. That's the difference. But it is concerning, but I'm not ready to throw the season away. I'm not ready to throw Jamar Chase away. I think them boys will be just fine. I think the only thing that's truly concerning is that calf injury. Just keep an eye on that. But I think as a team, they'll be all right.
Well, how many games into a losing streak does your panic meter start?
You can't go more than 0-3. You go 0-4, the season's over.
And we're very familiar with this growing up as Dolphin fans. That month, your season already being over, and you waited that 7-8 months to it to come, and you're done in 3 weeks is it's deteriorating. You're
We've
just
been
like,
there so many times.
yo,
We've
for
even been
real.
there where we started like 0-5, and then we won with Mike Flores when we went on a crazy streak. Man, it's been rough.
The last game I want to specifically talk about is the Giants and Cardinals. The Giants didn't score a touchdown in 6 quarters into the season. They looked just incredibly terrible. And for them to come back being down 21, looking at Daniel Jones in the first quarter when they would pan it, zoom into his grill every 5 minutes, and just look at him like, remark, and then it's on to the next one, right? To the second half, Daniel Jones, he went in the locker room as Daniel came out as Danny. Because this man was fired up. He was making plays. Saquon going out. That's I don't. Hopefully that's something.
They say it's like a moderate ankle sprain and be out 3 weeks.
Oh damn. Okay.
At least it wasn't like
significant. Yeah, 3
fatal,
weeks. Okay.
yeah.
But I couldn't take my eyes off of that game. And at first, when the Cards were up so much, I'm like, what's going on? They're putting up big numbers early.
Yeah.
I'm like, this team is supposed to be the bottom of the
Let's
barrel.
go with that big ass linebacker looking quarterback, yo. Dobbs.
He's got them extra. He's got them like Drew Bledsoe pads on. That's what he's got on.
Dude looks like a whole ass defensive end out there playing quarterback.
But even, speaking to him, even when they were trying to come back to win, I mean, everybody in that stadium, you felt it. he ain't gonna do this. They just went on this crazy tear.
Damn.
You think Dobbs is gonna come lead it? It's just I was super impressed with that comeback. Now, seeing Dayball fired up, yelling at the refs every time he could, it was like he must have brought so much energy into that halftime
Yeah.
and said some things that fired up those guys. For them to do that, it was crazy. I mean, I've seen comebacks before, but for some reason, they were dead. They
Yeah,
were
for
dead.
sure.
The
I
energy of
mean,
that team was dead.
so do you think the Giants is more like the first 6 quarters of the season or that last quarter? Or
I
somewhere
mean,
in between, I guess.
I mean, yeah, somewhere in between. But we're talking 6-2, so I'm still thinking, over to what they've been kind of floundering at.
I think I think that they're not a good team. I
Yeah, I
even
don't
think
either.
last year they were not a good team. They just managed to win enough games to get in the playoffs, but I never thought they were a good team. I They're average at best. The quarterback is average at best. Receiving core is terrible. I mean, defense is solid, but no Saquon, it's over.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I think they're more close to the first 6 quarters than the previous two.
And then our favorite game of the weekend, Finns Pats, Sunday Night Football.
Wow. Smoking
Tua
on
is
that
5-0
Belichick
against
pack
Tua is 5-0 against the God Bill Belichick.
against the God himself.
Um, that game was like kind of like a tale of two halves. It really was, because first half they were just so on it, moving it, willingly down the field, and kind of only getting 17 points was, we could have well been in 24 plus.
For sure.
Um, I mean, I can't say it enough. This offense is sick. It's the most consistent offense in the league, I feel. 2 weeks take for a grain of salt, but the way they move the ball, the way the play schemes, all of it. It's happy that I'm so happy it's in Miami now, because we've
Yeah.
seen it so many other places. You know what I mean?
And for so
Um,
many years, we had ownership, we had mentality that just did not want to pay attention to the offense.
yeah.
This is like this is like, okay, remember when we had, I forget who was the coach. Maybe you can help me. We had Tannehill, we had Albert Wilson, we had Jakeem Grant.
That was Gase.
That's Gase. This
Yeah.
offense we're seeing is like the final form, perfect like evolution of that, of what Gase, he didn't even, I think we had it for 2 games, but I saw his vision. I saw what he wanted to do. Athletic quarterback and just speed all around. This is like what that was supposed to actually be.
Second half was more of a defensive fight. Kind of only keeping them to 17, which I think is successful. Jordan was out, yeah, on the defensive line, and Armstead was out again. But Van
Yeah.
Ginkel came in and he was like a hurricane out there, bro. He
Yeah.
was spinning on everything. Pressure. Mac Jones, we wanted Mac Jones to throw the ball. And when he did, we either made a play on it or got a pick. Hey,
I don't know why he keep throwing an X.
I don't know either.
He was just on the top 100 saying, yo, I learned not to throw it to that guy. And he's still doing it.
Yeah, I mean, the defensive line, I think the Fangio system is starting to form. And one
There
thing
we
I am
go.
not concerned about is that him not playing Brandon Jones, he's not even starting him anymore. And I don't know if it's more of an injury thing or he's just not ready yet. But
Was
Brandon
Brandon
Jones,
Jones ever really an impact on the Dolphins?
yeah, I mean, with Flores for sure.
Hmm.
He was that safety blitz that always got there. Um One thing I was thinking about, Teron Armstead, our leading and one of the best offensive tackles in the league. Um, he was out. He's been out for 2 games. Um, I think I don't want to talk too soon, but I think they might have figured out the offensive line. The coordinator we got from San Diego, which is now our OC now, was an offensive line coach. Um, McDaniel being familiar with the run game. Um, I think they're focusing on the offensive line, and I think they might have fixed it. They didn't let they 6 quarters, 1 sack.
But they still need to fix the most elementary thing, which is hiking the damn ball.
Yeah, I don't get what's going on.
Like,
With
who
that.
is this center? Did we
Why
just
is it
pick
two
him
times
up?
a game now? Well, he was a guard we got from Dallas, and now they moved him to center because he's a really good guard. But yeah, 2 times a game now.
Now we're seeing it.
That's interesting. And I think it was like midway to the fourth, going back to the Dolphins defense. Um, the longest play of the game was 13 yards for them. And that's an awesome defensive scout or a defensive stat
Nah, for
um
sure. No
to
big
have.
plays.
And to see Jaceki and Parker in a Pats uniform making
You know
plays
they
for
was
them.
getting roughed up a little bit extra. They
Yeah.
were hitting them a little bit after the play was dead. You can tell.
Yeah, you could definitely tell. But yeah, getting that win, and I really from the New England aspect, I mean, they stayed in the game, um, but I didn't really see much out of them. I mean, I know they got that big key injury, that guy Jones, the cornerback, going down twice, and then finally being taken out of the game, and
Yeah.
them already
And
being,
that was the backup.
oh, that was the backup. Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I
Oof,
think
yeah.
the first corner's name is Jones, and then the
Yeah.
backup's name is Jones as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, is Mac Jones like if they do what they've been doing? Is Mac Jones, is he on the team next year? Because if he is, he's a bottom 5 quarterback right now. When you want your quarterback to throw the ball, that's saying something.
I mean, Bill Belichick was willing to let go of Tom Brady. So best believe nobody has, stay on that franchise besides him and the owner. They'll cut loose with whoever. So I don't know if it's definitively like he won't be there, but it'll definitely be a conversation. His seat will definitely be hot for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. If they keep playing, because if they keep playing how he's been playing, he's gonna be benched. Because he's just not good right now.
Yeah.
The screen pass shit is cool until it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For me, like, I'm not going to say that victory is more impressive than the shootout ones, but to me, it's just as impressive. I love seeing a victory like that. Like, I know we can score over 30 and, outduel a gunslinger like Justin Herbert. What I don't know is, okay, what happens in these close defensive struggle, low 20s, high teen games? That's what I want to see, and that's what I saw. So that to me was almost even more impressive than week one because that was a gameplay style that doesn't really suit us, but we were able to adjust. Okay, Bill Belichick, you want to play 3 deep safeties? You want to have everyone off the line? Mostert, come here. Have the game of the season so far for yourself. So that showed me, I'm like, okay, that's the sign of a good coach. A good coach isn't, oh, I have this crazy scheme and I just kill everyone with the same scheme. No. A good coach is like, okay, you take away this scheme, I'm gonna give you what you're allowing me to take. And that's what the greats do. Bill Belichick, I've seen him play a game where he only ran the ball because the team was letting him. I've seen the game where he only throws the ball. I've seen games where he just does anything to win. And for me, that was a great sign. I think that was a great victory. And I didn't get the hype on the Patriots after a loss. That was weird. Like everyone was on their coattail because they lost and put up empty calories. They were getting their ass whooped that game. Philadelphia didn't care how many yards they came back on, how many points they scored. They weren't there. They weren't going to win that game. They were getting blown out. But we want to hype it up. No, that's empty calories. That's just filling up the stat sheet. I never believed that. I never bought it into it. And on a side note, Philadelphia might be the most disrespected 2-0 Super Bowl contender runner-up we've ever seen. For me, that's a great sign. They're 2-0. They found a way to win these games. No, they're not blowing out every single opponent like they did last year, but they're still getting it done. So that's just on a side note. But yeah, I never thought Mac Jones was it. I mean, he looks like a kid. Yeah.
I'm glad you brought up Mostert. How well he's been playing, running, the way he's just as fast as Waddle and Tyreek. And I forget that, just the way he runs. And then when he gets in open field, it's like, wow, this guy is.
He doesn't have their acceleration, though. That's the main difference. He takes a little while, but once he gets started, he's hard to track down.
Him playing how he's been playing, I think it's you look at, because we were in the talks with Jonathan Taylor trading for him and signing Dalvin. And like after another game like this, he didn't have this kind of game the first game, but he had an effective game. I think they were comfortable with riding with Mostert.
And our backup, what's my homie's name?
Ahmed.
When he runs, you taste it. Like, oh, this guy got flavor. This guy jumps on the screen. Like his 7-yard pickup is not Mostert's pickup. His 7-yard pickup is like a flash, like a boom.
Yeah.
So I think, we got a good running situation. And a team like us, we don't need to have an all-pro running back. We just don't.
Yeah,
our running plays are like screens and pitch tosses.
Yeah. Anything else you have to add to the Fins-Pats game? I do love winning in New England. I think it's one of the best places for Miami to win.
I think from what I saw that game, they're still greatly coached. I mean, that blocked field goal was genius. The fact that he waited 20 years to whip that one out, wow.
Well, you know what I think it might have been? I think that guy's job, the guy that blocked it, is to watch the snapper, right?
We've never seen that before. We've never seen someone do that play before.
But what if he noticed he didn't look at him, right? He's not looking in his direction at all. And he noticed it, motioned it. Maybe that's something that I'm saying they teach him to do. If they don't look at you, they don't see you. So,
but for me, I'm giving all that credit to Belichick. Nothing that happens over there is like, oh, this guy just went rogue and did some crazy. Nah, everything there is so meticulous. But the fact that he had to resort to that to beat us shows you like he's really working with bare minimum.
I wonder if he starts a trend. If that starts to.
Oh, of course, people are going to try it. And, if it deems too successful, then the NFL is just going to make up some stupid ass rule to, not allow it. Like the fact that you can't jump over the line anymore to block the field goal. They had to cut that out. Certain players like Cam Chancellor were mastering that. But, I think, like I said, I think the coaching is really good. It's a lot better than last year, but they just don't have enough talent to win.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah. Mustache, I'm fucking with it. Looks good.
Hey.
Yo, your mustache is strong.
Good
you've had it since you were 13 though, but it's strong.
Since 6th grade, yeah.
That used to be your magic back in the day, right?
I was trying to tell these boys that that shit made me a god.
I'm gonna just go with a quick rapid fire on a few things. Jump in, jump out, whatever you want. I can't believe the commies pulled it off and beat Russell. I will say Brian Robinson Jr. as a running back is a beast. They got some talent over there. I still feel the same way about Sam Howell, Heineke 2.0. Um, I think Russell's kind of probably looking for somewhere else to stay, bro, because he really wasn't keeping him in that game.
Man,
It was
it just
Kami's making
hurts.
mistakes, and it was Denver figuring stuff out.
It just
And then
hurts
on a
because
Hail
he's gonna
Mary,
get the blame. He's gonna get the blame, but 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Come on, like I know he threw the pick in the second half at an untimely moment. Yeah, it's on him, but it just sucks because it's like I personally see the progression. He's not Seattle Russ. No,
no,
nowhere near.
throw it out.
But he's better than last year from what I've seen so far. So the fact that they're still not able to get it done and get that first victory, man, it hurts, man. But yeah, it's looking it's I'm starting to get
You,
worried.
you know what also looks kind of hard to watch? He looks slow as shit. He can't escape anymore. He had that baseball run, like he looks slow as shit now.
And he was never fast. He was just
No,
so elusive,
yeah,
so smooth, so controlled. But now he looks like he's fucking panicking out there.
hell yeah. It seems like his eyes get wide and he just freezes up. Maybe that big, accusation or that big trade and this is
Put all
gonna
the
put
pressure on him.
yeah, maybe it kind of, loosened some screws up there. Maybe he got too big
Yeah.
for his own
And
self.
when you think about it, his time in Seattle, he either always had Marshawn Lynch, Ty Lockett, Baldwin. He had a few guys out there. He
Yeah.
has nobody like that anymore.
Purdy looks subpar. Purdy looks subpar. The offense still looked good. He didn't look great. But on top of that, I think I might have been completely wrong about the Rams. I might have. Stafford looks like he got his, exoskeleton. He looks strong. He looks like his back never broke.
Like
Donald
he hit a shot glass from the Fountain of Youth.
Donald looks just as good. They have this new receiver that I hate to admit this, but I was literally not making fun of his name, but saying it in different ways and accents that was making the house laugh. But he's a baller.
Yo, 15 receptions
Is Stafford
for
just
a
love this
buck
guy,
40.
or he's just cutting up the defense like that?
They need to get Cooper Cup back ASAP because them two out there.
Yo, yeah, and that Cooper Cup stuff that really worries me. Hey, have you ever heard of a hamstring specialist?
Yo, fam, you know what's the most
I haven't.
worrying? You missed. Okay, you got injured, right? Right? You missed the
Yeah,
whole season.
right.
On your way to come back, you get injured again. I say, like, that's super concerning. Like, you already had the time off to come back, and you got injured again. It's not looking good, yo.
Yeah, but going back to the Niners, they looks just as strong, offense and defense. I was surprised that the game was closer for a while.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, ultimately the defense made plays. That's why they won. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think I was completely wrong about the Rams. It really was.
Nah, for sure. They'll be a feisty team.
Yeah. Um, I can't tell if Gino is really good or not. They ended up coming back, so I will give him kudos for that.
He had a crazy game.
In overtime. But I really don't know if he's good or not. Because if looking at the Rams now, week 2, who they played last week, the Rams might be a good team.
Right.
And
So
they
maybe
got
that
work.
loss versus the Rams wasn't as crazy as we thought.
Right. And Gino came through. He made plays. Walker made plays, so that maybe last week was a fluke for them, but I'm just for a quarterback that's been in the league for that long and has been a backup for that long, I need to see it more than one game. I need to see it. You did it for a season. Now let's do it for another playoff run to be okay. Like
I'm gonna help
they're
you
gonna
out.
pay
He's
you.
really good.
Okay. Um, I think Coach Staley on the Chargers is going to be the first coach fired. Yeah,
See you, bud.
I think he. I mean, it's another loss at the end of the game.
Another
Um,
blown lead.
another blown lead. For everybody, slobbing on Herbert, top 5 quarterback. I mean, he played better this game, that's for sure. But again, and with Eckler being out, I mean,
I saw a comparison the other day, and this really made me think. They were like, yo, is Justin Herbert the new Matt Stafford when he was in Detroit? Amazing arm talent, 5,000 yards every year, but don't win shit.
yeah. I mean, we'll see. I mean, we both agreed the last couple of years that coach has kind of been holding him back, and we talked about it in the episode 1 with the
It
preview.
feels like we're starting to run out of excuses for him, though.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I can't believe I'm gonna say this because I took a huge dump on him, but I think Baker is good for the Bucks.
Yo, I might get up. Keep going.
What he's doing with Evans and him still playing, he's playing like he's not that he's a rookie again, but he's leaving it all on the line. He's playing like this is every game is his last game, and he's balling out. Now,
Yeah.
could they haven't really been, behind, more than I think 2 touchdowns. So we maybe we'll see that when that comes, him having to climb back in the game, but
Yeah.
he can stay in a game and he can win you a game.
But 2 really good W's so far. Like
Really good
two
W's. Yeah,
two
for
wins
sure.
where people thought for sure they were gonna lose.
I did. Yeah. And I did too. But I think I was wrong about him. I really do. I do. Last one is Bills clobbering the Raiders. Josh Allen is back to Superman. I know he made a comment that he likes to feel how he felt last week with the Jets. Yeah, I don't know about that. That's you
That
could tell
boy's
yourself
trying
what
to
you could tell yourself whatever, try to
that
sound
boy's
cool.
trying to spin any negative
Come
into
on,
a
man.
positive.
Yeah, that was a great feeling. Throwing 3 picks and fumbling. Um, he was Superman again. They won. The defense was good. I know they lost one of their safeties. And the Cook brother balling out,
Yeah.
125 yards, I think. So he had a good game. They were able to do it on the ground and in the air. But
Yeah,
going to
how's
the
that
other,
going for you, Jimmy? Let me know.
going to the other side of the ball, man. And I hate to start to sound anti-running back, but the league leader last year had -2 yards, 9 carries. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. I think the reasons are coming more apparent why you don't pay big bucks to a running back.
It's not just that. It's like, okay, he was the leading rusher, but no one ever considered him the best running back in the league.
No,
Ever.
no. But that's as a running back and as a player, you have to hold that. I was a rushing leader. I mean, if you ask any running
Of
back that
course.
played, I'm sure they can rattle off the years that they.
Of course. Of course.
That's like a scoring title for NBA. You know what I mean?
Of
It's just
course.
one of
Yeah.
those stats. But yeah, that's all I got. Anything else you want to add to the weekend?
Nah, not necessarily. I did quickly cover the Eagles. But I think that's it. Real quick. The battle of the rookies, Richardson versus Stroud. Richardson is in a much better team, much better system. He got the W. He got hurt. Is he okay?
Couldn't tell you. Didn't follow up. I don't know.
It was kind of his fault though. When I seen the play, he was like running in the end zone, and then he kind of like stopped to like be casual, and he got his ass slammed into the ground. Nah, in the NFL, you got to run straight through the end zone because them boys are gonna hit you even after you pass the pylon. But CJ Stroud had a great game.
Yeah, I agree.
Over 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks versus a solid defense. He really showed me something. So shout out to CJ Stroud.
He's bigger than I thought he was.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the pads, the uniform, the helmet, how he runs. He's bigger than I thought he was.
Yeah, he's a big kid.
Yeah. All right, man. Do you have a player of the week?
You go first.
I have a player of the week, and I think my player of the week, and I think you touched on it earlier, is Lamar Jackson. I think he is looking like an MVP already. The team's good, and he makes them 10 times better. I don't think he has crazy amount of, obstacles because the receivers are really good. I think Zay Flowers is really, really good. OBJ's, he did get hurt, but I think he's serviceable. And Bateman, I think they're a really good team. And he, like you said, with them opening up that offense and him sitting him back there, and then he just runs and gets 8 yards and runs out of bounds. He's playing super smart. And I think he's my player of the week because he made Baltimore look like a top 5 team in the league. That's what I think.
My player of the week. First, I'm gonna give you the player, and then I'm gonna quickly cover the game because we didn't go over it. But Bijan Robinson is everything that they said he would be. But it's not just that. Those moves. Like I heard someone say, you can't teach that. That dead leg, you had defenders doing the cha-cha slide. 3 defenders in a row. You hit them with the same move. Back to back to back. And they all did the same thing. Man, I haven't seen moves like that since Lamar Jackson was doing his thing, his MVP year. But that dead leg stop and go, man, that is nasty. So yeah. I think they're gonna build their whole offense around him. That kid's an animal. And the other side of the ball, maybe not the player of the week, but definitely I'd still give him props. Yo, Jordan Love, another 3 touchdown game. No picks, I think. Maybe he had 1 pick, but dude's been balling.
Dude impressive.
Has been balling, and the freakiest thing is a lot of those throws is looking just like Aaron. The arm angle, the fluidity, the play call. It's looking scary over there in Green Bay. I'm seeing a lot of resemblance of 12 and Jordan Love.
Yeah, he's looking really good. That offense looks really well. Quick thing. This is my power ranking for the top 5 teams in the league right now after 2 weeks.
Okay.
Number 1, 49ers.
Okay.
Number 2, the Eagles. Number 3, Cowboys. Number 4, the Dolphins. And number 5, the Ravens. That's my top 5 right now after 2 weeks. Not much of a sample size, but it's somewhat of a sample size.
I would substitute one of those teams with the Chiefs just out of respect. But that's just me. But every other team on there, no problem.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we got NBA on the other side.
There's only like 10 more minutes, and that's it.
Welcome back to Hits and Hoops. Today, on this Monday of the 18th, there's not much new news or newsworthy stories or anything on or off court. So my man Dixon came up with an idea. We're going to go through his 5 favorite point guards of all time. He played point guard for his whole life, so point guard is special to him. So he's going to give us our 5 favorite point guards of all time. So take the room.
So, just a little quick intro to add on to that. I'm not gonna do the best ever because that's always controversial and everyone has
This
the
is
same.
Dixon's favorite.
Exactly.
Dixon, Jay, Luna. Social
Exactly.
Security is
Yeah, you tripping right now. But yeah, everyone always says, the best ever, and that's just so objective that it's or subjective. Whatever. This is my shit right here. My top 5 point guards, no particular order. And this is going to show you my type of brain. This is going to show you the era that we came up in. So first off, we got to go with Uncle Drew, Kyrie Irving. I mean, have we ever seen anyone dribble or finish like that? Off the court shit, that's a whole nother podcast episode in itself. But play style, creativity, man, Kyrie's a 101. Got to start with him. Next, I'm going to go Darren Williams. This dude was a beast in Utah and in Brooklyn. People forget about his Brooklyn days, but he was a good combination of power and finesse. This guy had a stocky build. This guy, if you try to reach on, he'll bump you off. You weren't really going to steal the ball from him. Too smooth of a handle, and his crossover, his right to left, he got everyone with that same move.
He had the I got a question about Darren. Why the fall off? Because with him, I felt like it was just a summer, and he was an afterthought.
Injuries.
Is that really what it was? Yeah.
Leg injuries, yeah. That shit really just derailed his career. Sorry to say,
Simple
but
as
that's
that,
just
right?
what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird because remember that whole battle with him and CP?
Yeah, because they came in at the same time. They was like, always compared to each other. And for a point, Darren was right there, neck and neck.
Yeah, he was. I mean, there was a reason why he was the centerpiece to that Brooklyn rebuild,
Exactly. Yeah. And, that's the person that inspired me to get waves. So
still waiting for those.
Inspired me, but I would never could. I mean, I asked my barber and he just laughed at me. But that's neither here or there. We'll go next. We'll go Agent Zero. Mr. Pull a Strap Out. Man, he was just the first person that I recall that was shooting like that deep. And I remember, we used to hit the basketball court and I started shooting from that deep, especially being a shorter guard. The more range you have, the better it is. You want them people to come out. And really, people aren't going to guard you a foot over the three-point line. So if you could take 2 steps back, master that shot, and just have a clean look every time, it's good. But he was Steph before Steph. He was Dame before Dame in terms of the long distance shooting. And just a great overall score. I mean, those 2-3 years he had in Washington was elite. Not only scoring in a plethora of ways, but also really clutch. He would hit those game winners and turn around before the ball went through the net. Like I said, Steph before Steph. So that's another one, Agent Zero. The 4th spot, I'm going to have to go with Point God, CP3. I mean, this guy taught my generation how it's supposed to be done. He was the last of the true point guards. That doesn't exist anymore. The only version that you could somewhat see is Lonzo Ball, but he's too damn passive and weak to even enter the conversation.
You said weak?
Weak ass knee, bro. He's showing Stephen A. he could do a sitting knee. I'm like, bro, that video did not convince me at all. Them knees looked hella shaky. Well, you need to get in the weight room. But nah, man. CP3 point guard. I mean, dude, that guy just had the ball on a string, and his time. I think my favorite CP3 wasn't even New Orleans. It was the Clippers CP3.
Yeah.
That CP3 was a point guard that passed first, but if his team needed him to score, he could do that as well. The difference is in New Orleans, he had to do everything. He had to steal the ball, he had to score the ball and assist. In LA, he had to throw up the alley, but when it was time to take over, he would be the one to do it.
That team was snake bitten, that Clippers team.
For sure.
It was one guy this year, both of them the next
It
year.
was either Blake or CP3 every year got hurt.
Yeah. And I mean, how much money CP made for DeAndre? I mean, he made DeAndre on the all NBA team.
I think he extended his career by like 5 years playing with CP.
Yeah.
Because remember, he kept getting chance after chance after chance.
It's going to be interesting to see what he looks like in that Warriors jersey.
Oh, I know. I forget about that,
Yeah,
but,
it doesn't seem real.
It doesn't seem real. That's weird, but we'll see how it works. I don't think it'll work, but we'll see. And last, I gotta go with my boy from the Bay, Baron Davis. I mean, dude has so much sauce. He was really one of the first point guards that I looked at. He was a little bit more out of control than the rest of the point guards because Darren Williams will play with the ball. He'll cross you over, but his dribble was tight. His dribble was smooth. Baron Davis wasn't tight or smooth. It was kind of all over the place, but he would make it work, and he would make it look good, and he would hit a step back, spin, turn around. He just hit a lot of really contested shots and made it look relatively easy. When he first came into the league, when he was on the Hornets, he had that crazy bounce. He was catching bodies, but that's not my favorite Baron Davis. We're going to have to go to the We Believe team, the team that pulled off the greatest upset ever when they beat the number 1 seed of Dallas Mavericks in the first round of the playoffs. That Baron Davis, to me, was just a bucket. And, I always modeled my game after these guys because it wasn't just about being a point guard, but it was about being a physical one. None of these guys shied away from contact.
One of my core childhood memories is being at your house and seeing him dunk on AK-47 and just seeing the building erupt and your house just erupting.
Sick.
I don't know. That was just one moment I'd have never forgotten.
Sick.
And seeing those, like seeing the highlights of that now, it's just like it takes me back to that night at your crib watching it.
Yeah.
West Coast time. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Oh, what a great list. So BD, Darren Williams, CP, Kyrie, and
CP, Zero. Kyrie, Baron,
Agent Zero.
My fault, Gil.
Hell yeah. Well, yeah, that's a great list. And you got anything else to add to the
Nah, that's it, man. We'll just we'll hear from y'all hopefully on FaceTime Friday soon, and definitely for week 3.
All right, man. Well, have a great weekend, and I will talk to you later.
For sure, bro.
All right, man.